we'll complete our chapter number 5. So last times we have discussed about the different types of the plant layout in different industrial area. The type of production is also different. Uh, Somewhere batch production is there, somewhere mass production is there. So as per the requirements, we're going to make the layout in this particular industry. So there are four types of layout. First, product or line layout. Then second is process or functional layout. Third, that is the fixed positions or static layout. And group technology layout or cellular layout. So yesterday we have completed these four types of layout. Only few examples you have to remember. Product or line layout, all machinery equipment should be in one line. Arrangement of this all equipment or machinery as per the product. Examples I have given to you related to this. Steel rolling mills, textile mills, your automobile parts, paper mills, sugar mills, petrochemical industry are the examples of this product or line layout. So here's main disadvantages of this type of layout. Once the one of the machine in the lines will get a break or some breakdown maintenance is there, the whole line will get stopped. Initial investment that is very high, very difficult for production planning and controls. And here's the high labor cost is there. This is about the product or line layout. Second, the process or the functional layout. Here depends upon the process, maybe the casting process, forging process, the sheet metal process. All these type of process depends upon this. We have grouped all these machines, and after this, you will get the product. So example, batch type of any industry, small scale industry, just like our workshop. Uh, some the machinery or equipments are grouped together, depends upon the process. For example, one of the components required the machining process. So all machining should be at one place. In the some of the component required, so the forming process should be in one place. Cutting machine should be in one place. Milling machine should be in one place like this. So here's less investment is there, but uh, main disadvantages of this process is high inventory carrying cost is there, um, and less work in progress is there. Normally it is used for batch productions. So this is actually process of functional layout. Then next we have seen about the fixed or static layout. So whenever big components are there, just like ship, aeroplanes, then locomotives, railway, railway engines, different parts, the railway compartments. Okay, so for this we require to fix that component at one place because it is difficult to handle. It is very heavy. So you can get it fixed this component and machinery equipments or tooling we can make around this. This is the fixed positions layout. And lastly we have gone through the uh, group technology layout. Means similar type of machines we have grouped together, all hexa machines, uh, all lathe machines, all milling machines, all uh, CNC, VMC machines together. It is just like a process layout, but lathe machine we can do specific operation. Shaping machines, we can do the specific operations, and all this department is also separate. So grouping together as per the requirements. So this is called group technology, similar to process layout. According to the process, machining process, forming process, machines are laid down. Means after machining, if you want to go for forming, if you want to go for heat treatment, so like this layout is there. But here in our group technology, grouping the similar types of machines together, drilling machines, all types of drilling machines should be at one place, all types of lathe machines should be one place, all types of CNC machines should be one place, lathe and shapers and slotting machines should be in one place. So like this, the technology, it has been grouped. So this normally used for the heat treatment shop, the sheet metal component manufacturing, or batch type of production normally where flexibility is inherent. So like this way, we have seen the different types of layout in the last lecture. Now, at the end of that lectures, we also collected the certain informations related to the selection of the material handling equipment. So in industry, the more cost that is related to the material handling. It may be small component, it may be big component, or continuous transportation is there. So raw material transportation, semi-finished product transportations, finished product transportations. Everywhere we required the material handling equipment. So what should be the things actually we have to remember while selection of the material handling. So in the last lectures, we have discussed about the 8 points. Just we'll go through once again and then we'll go for next 8 points related to the material handling. So first point, property of materials to be handled. So first you can think which type of materials you will going to handle from one place to the next. You classify this. It may be solid, liquid, or gases. Second thing is layout and characteristic of buildings. Which type of industry building is there? Maybe horizontal expanded or upper tier, just like in big city, different types of floors are there, different types of layouts are there. So you can study about this. Then a production flow may be continuous or batch type of production. Which type of production is that you can see. After that, if you select the particular material handling equipment, what should be the cost of that equipment? Over this also, we can discuss. Nature of operations. Now, shall we go for permanent or temporary? So this thing also you can keep in the minds. Then next is the engineering factors. Means if you install their conveyors, cranes, or any other material handling equipment, whether that building structure will sustain these loads or not. And the seventh part, that is the equipment reliability. Equipment reliability means that equipment should be reliable, affordable, durable. It will keep ongoing for a long time. So this reliability is expected in the equipment reliability. And last point is their path. So selection of material handling equipment also depends upon path. There are two types of path. Fixed path means if path is fixed, for example, sugar industry, the sugar cane will dump at one place and after that, step by step processing will be take place. So here path is fixed. So under this, you can go for the conveyors, pulley drives, chain drives, overhead cranes like this. Then if variable path is there, path is not fixed. So here we cannot use the conveyors, monorails, pulley drives, belt drives, overhead cranes. Here we can use the flexible material handling system like turf and forklifts, mobile cranes, the tractors, containers, industrial robot, like this variable path equipments or devices are there. So normally in industry, forklifts, normally it has been used. In some of the cases, trucks, tractors, it has been used. Some of the cases, mobile cranes we can use. Some of the cases, containers and industrial robot. These things we can use for variable path. So these 8 points you have to remember while selecting the material handling equipment. Very simple things are there. So when you want to set any material handling equipments in any industry, these 8 points you have to remember because a lot of cost in manufacturing it is related to the material handling equipment. Okay, as possible as you have to avoid the material handling by manual because the same load cannot sustain the particular man. This man normally we require experience and a lot of times we'll get waste while handling the materials by a manual. So instead of this, we can use the machinery or equipments for material handling. So this 8 point, it is very important while selecting the material handling equipment. And last point, particularly that much having scope in the industry, if continuous production is there, then we can select this conveyor, overhead crane, monorails, okay, monorails, and different types of the belt drives. Belt drives conveyors are there, chain conveyors are there, the overhead cranes are there. So whenever fixed path is there, sir, you can select this. And if path is not fixed, then you can use other equipment like a robo, then mobile cranes. Then you can use the fork, FORK, forklift, trucks, tractors, containers. These are flexible machinery we can use for material handling. Uh, After this, next part is there the classification of the material handling equipment based on the again 8 points. So classification of the material handling, it is based on 8 points. So first point that we'll going to discuss, after that layout analysis and understanding the method. Okay. Uh, so so these previous articles we have seen classification of materials to be handled. So among that, once again, this point will get repeat. The classification of the material, uh, it is also depends upon the physical characteristics means whether solid, liquid or gas, quantity, weight of the material, speed required, minimum, maximum, or chances of damage. So under this, which point we are going to consider classification? Whether solid or gas. After this quantity, weight of material, then speed and chances of damage. So classification of materials to be handled, this much points you have to remember. Previous articles only we have seen solid, liquid or gas phase. Apart from this, how much quantity you have to move from one place to next place? How much ton weight should be there? Speed, the ton per hours. Sugar canes crushing capacity is always, it has been mentioned ton per hours. 125 ton per hour. So here the speed may be maximum, minimums or variables. Again, these three parts you have to consider. Chances of damage while handling any delicate materials, just like a glass or any other paper part, there is a chances of damage. So accordingly, you can classify the material. Okay, and on basis of this, we can decide the equipment required for material handling. So just you can divide the materials to be handled solid, liquid or gases, how much quantity, what is the weight, what is the speed, and is there any problems while handling. So this point you have to consider under the classification of the material. Okay. Examples, you can take the automobile industry, solid part is there. So how much materials, 1,000 tons we have to transfer from the heat treatment unit to grinding unit. So how much hours within the 1 hours we require this material, maximum speed is there. Any chances of damage, no damage, you can lay down there's any continuous types of conveyors. So this is the examples of the first part while selection of the material handling. Then next that is the plant layout. Next that is the plant layout. So already we have discussed there are different types of layout, process layout, product layout, then fixed or group layout. Then distance to be travels, that is fixed or long flow pattern, horizontal or vertical. So here's types of layout depends upon the product, whether continuous production is there, mass production is there, always you have to select product or line layout. And batch production is there, so always you have to select the process layout. And very big product is there, unable to handle fixed positions. And variety of products are there, and the grouping of particular processes requirement is like this forming process, casting process, machining. So foundry at the one place, forging at one place, press shop is one. So this is the group layout. So depends upon this which is feasible for us, that things you have to consider while selecting the material handling equipment. Apart from that, distance to be traveled, that is small or fixed distance or long distance, it may be horizontal or vertical. So in under this plant layout, the types of layout we have to consider. Under these types of layout, second, distance to be traveled, distance to be traveled, and flow pattern. Flow pattern that is horizontal or vertical. Horizontals or verticals. Here's plant layout. Which point you have to consider types of layout, distance to be traveled. Distance to be traveled means how much that distance, maybe half kilometer, kilometers. This point you have to consider. Then the flow pattern, whether horizontal or vertical. Bucket elevators in sugar industry, it has been set vertical, but crane carriers conveyors, it has been set horizontal. And depends upon the distance, vertical to horizontal, which type of the conveyors will going to select. This is also very important because in normally consumables industry, maybe cement plant, maybe food processing unit, maybe paper mills or sugar mills. Different types of conveyors are there. Road making industry, this particular types of conveyor is there. So it depends upon the materials to be handled and distance. You have to select the types of conveyors, mobiles, cranes, or any belt-driven types of conveyors for this unit. So plant layout, this is very important. If continuous production is there, we can fix their chain conveyor or belt conveyor. If process layout is there and flexible layout is there, always we have to go for the robots, then truck for tractors, then trucks. This flexible um, machinery we can use for material handling. And before that also you can see the horizontal, vertical or at an angle. So if you see the conveyors in the sugar industry, the conveyor is moving at an angle and slowly it is going up. Cannot directly go up. Vertically arrangement is only there for bucket elevator chains. Horizontals normally used for bagasse carrier, and the inclinations normally used for uh, the cane carriers. So anyhow, the nearby us some sugar industries are there. Their types of conveyors you can select for product layout or line layout depends upon the distance and flow patterns, etc. So this is the second point while selecting the material handling. Then third, analysis of movement. Third, analysis of movement. Analysis of movement. So analysis of movement. So here intensity or analysis of flow route charts. This also we can consider. So in the previous parts we have seen horizontal, vertical or at an angle. Here also you can go for analysis of movement. Okay. So how many movements will be there? Maybe horizontal, verticals, at an angles, or zigzag motions will be there. Or other than this, sometimes it will move or sometimes it will get stopped. Move, stop. This type of movement also you have to consider. So you can make the list of this horizontal, vertical, at an angle, zigzag motions, go and stop like this. Make the analysis of the same. Then visualization of move, then B pass. So here visualization of move. Flow diagram, distance, intensity, chart distance for each movement. Flow diagrams we have seen. So string diagram and flow diagrams we have seen. So first of all, you can see the flow diagrams, whatever the work measurement study we have done in chapter number 4. So that flow diagrams you have to study. In which way the material is going, visualize this, and accordingly you can plan for the movement of the materials. So this is the visualization of move means here flow diagrams you have to study. So here flow diagram of work measurement. Of work measurement. So you have to study the flow diagram. Sometimes we require string diagrams also. You have to visualize this. Is it possible to set in a the type of the material handling equipment so that the cost related to the material handling will get reduced? So string diagrams or the flow diagram, it is useful. And normally all this material handling, it has been classified into two types, the fixed path and flexible path. And this much materials handling equipments we can use in our industry. Now, next part is there, understand the natural things, equipments, packaging methods. So understanding the methods. Understanding method. Here the movement system may be vertical or horizontal. This movement system is already we have studied, but here in this understanding methods, load carrying capacity. The understanding method depends upon the load carrying capacity. Load carrying capacity that we have to understand. Uh, for example, if you set any conveyor, different types of conveyors are there in industry. So how much the capacity of this? So total capacity it is depends upon the braking load of the conveyor, and braking load it is totally depends upon the design of the conveyor. Okay. So here's understanding methods means the capacity, whatever the capacity of the conveyor, it will get sustained. Accordingly, you can understand these methods. Examples I have given. The capacity is depends upon the braking load, and braking load is depends upon the structure of that uh, conveyor chains or monorails things. So this is about the understanding methods, then preliminary handling plans. So preliminary handling plans means initially which plan is there, it should be on the paper, discuss with the middle and top management, and accordingly you can plans the how we can set the material handling equipments in that unit. Uh, this is the then uh, in decision making normally in industry, uh, those are making the study in that industry, and after that making that preliminary handling plans, and along with that number of alternatives. So here's alternatives plans also you can select here. Alternatives. First plans, and if it is not fixed by the top managements, then you can suggest the alternative plans for the same, so that the management will get sanctioned the same. And selections, after this selection of the best alternative, initial investment, selection of the best, last point. So after putting the number of alternative, you can select the best alternative equipments or the device used for material handling, which is based upon initial investment, maintenance cost, operating flexibility, selection of the material handling system. The best alternative plans, once you select, then you can consider here the initial investment of the same. The best alternative equipment, initial investment. Maintenance cost. So once you selected the best alternative plan, then again you will have to discuss about what is the initial cost. What is the initial cost, initial investment? If you are capable to make that investment, then again you have to think what should be the maintenance cost. After that, operating flexibility, how much is there? And best thing is that which material actually we can use for material handling equipments. For examples, conveyor is there, maybe couch conveyors, maybe cane carrier conveyors, maybe bagasse conveyors, the paver finish conveyors, bucket elevators. So many conveyors are there. So what actually material required to manufacture the same conveyor so that it can sustain the capacity. So this much things actually we required in the material handling. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Up to this point, it is expected to remember while selection of the material handling equipments in the industry. Okay. So once again, I will repeat, and after that, I will go for the total revision of these chapters, and next lectures we'll start our the last chapter, that is job evaluation and merit rating. Okay. So in brief, I will explain once again selection of the material handling equipment. Before this, I would like to tell you the all the selection of the material handling equipment. It is basically based on fixed uh, and flexible path, means variable path. Fixed path, when path is fixed, when continuous production is there, uh, mass production is there. For example, bearing manufacturing industry is there, then sugar industry is there, paper mills is there, food processing units are there, fertilizers manufacturing industries are there, textiles mills are there. Here's continuous production is there. So whenever continuous production is there, always you have to go for setting the particular types of conveyors, maybe belt conveyors or chain conveyors, monorails, overhead cranes, or robo, etc. A robo normally we can use in variable path, but conveyors, chain conveyor or belt conveyors, then monorails or overhead cranes normally used for fixed path in uh, continuous production, mass production, we can use. Our product layout is already exist there. Line layout is already exist there. Then you can use the conveyors, chain conveyor, belt conveyors, monorails, overhead cranes, we can. But variable path is there. Other than this, whatever the equipments are exist, maybe forklift is there, different types lifts are there, trucks are there, tractors are there. Nowadays in industry, different types of robots are there. So we can make use of this for variable paths. So all this equipment basically based upon these two types of the path of the material handling. Apart from this certain points, so what actually I have written on the blackboards. First point, that is the classification of materials. So which point here you have to consider whether materials to be handled, that is solid, liquid or gas. You have to think over this. After this, how much quantity we have to the transfer from one place to the next place. What should be the weight of that material? In which speed, maximum, minimum or average speed, we have to handle this material, and which actually care we will have to take that material to be handled should not be get damaged. So this point you have to consider in the material handling equipment. Next point, that is the plant layout. So already we have discussed the four types of layout: product layout or line layout, process layout or functional layout, fixed layout or static layout, and last one, that is the cellular or group technology layout. So here it depends upon the productions. Again, you have to select the types of layout, and if layout is exist, then accordingly based on fixed or variable path, you can go for selection of the material handling. If the product layout is there, conveyor always be there, but process layout is there, we can use a flexible material handling system. Then here also you can consider how much distance actually we will have to travel from the one place to the next place, and the flow of that material may be horizontal, vertical or at an angle. This we have to consider. Then analysis of the movement, same point will be there. Movement, it may be horizontal, verticals or at an angles or in the rotating conditions. For example, small grinding pins are there. The movement of grinding pins, that is the rotating. Means after one pin will get grind, then next will come. So here required the movement of this pattern is rotating. The next is visualization of movement. Means how that movement will be there. Here we have to study the flow diagrams and string diagrams, what actually we are studying in the work measurement. And accordingly, we can go for selection of the material handling. Understanding the method means for this method, how much the load carrying capacity required, this point you have to consider. Then after all this point, you have to prepare the primer plan along with some alternative, and you can select the best alternative, which is based upon initial investment. Suppose we want to set conveyors in product layout. So what should be the initial investment? Maybe 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. If we go for uh, making this much investment, then after installation, what should be the maintenance cost? What is operating feasibility? What is the reliability? What is the durability? What is the affordability? So this all ability you have to consider under this selection of the best alternative. So this is about the material handling equipment selection. So anybody having any problems, you can ask. Then we'll go for revision of these chapters and next lectures, uh, maybe on Monday, because today at 1 o'clock our chapter test will be there. So on Monday we'll start our last chapters. But before that, anybody having any problems related to this, you can ask. Any questions related to this? This is the your work in industry selection of the material handling. Right material handling equipment for right materials, quantity, then for layout, its initial cost, maintenance cost, reliability, affordability, durability. So this point actually uh, you might have known before taking the decisions in the industry. So any questions? No questions. Okay. So just I will go for a revision of this chapters. The first part in the chapters factor affecting the site selections. So which points we have covered in the chapters, we'll go for revision of the same. So first point in the chapters, factors affecting the uh, site selection. If you want to go for selecting the industry, which factors need to be considered? There are two factors, intangible and tangible. Tangible means direct, we can touch that. Intangible, so indirect, we cannot touch like this. So under these intangibles, three factors are there. First factor, that is personal. Personal factor is as under this availability of culture, climate, educational, library, banking, transport, housing, medical, and shopping facility. So all these personal factors need to be considered while selecting the site for industry. Whatever the personal needs are there, it needs to get fulfilled in that area. So this is the personal. Then second, customers and competitors means uh, your industry easy access for the customers, quick sales and services, easily availability of spare parts, and easy availability of quality of the product. So this is the second point. Third point, site present and future requirements should meet. Suppose you want to go for expansions, then also this side is useful, and for fulfill the present requirement, then also this site is useful. Okay, so these three factors, it will comes under the intangibles. Once again, I will repeat: personals, our personal needs; customer and competitors means customer should get satisfied. It should be availability of the all product, easily access, affordable, reliable. Reliability should be there. Spare part should be there. Good quality should be there. And for last factor, present and future requirements will get fulfilled. In the tangible factors, first point, that is the cost for acquiring production materials, direct or indirect material. Suppose foundry is there. What is the direct material? Scrap. Indirect materials, patterns and molding parts. So where it is easily available, in that place we can go for uh, selection of the site. Second, the cost for transportations, easily transportation, maybe railway, bus, roads, or aeroplane facility should be there. Communication facility should be there nowadays because of the mobiles, it will get fulfilled. And last factor, cost for utilities at the site. Utility or availability of the waters, fuels, waste disposals, minimum wages, labor, safety and health facility. So these factors actually is very important under the tangible. Safety and health factor, this is prime. Whatever the workers or the manpowers you will get, it should be the minimum wages. Waste disposal should be there. The bulk quantity of water should be there. So this thing means a resource of all available where it is. In that place, we can select the industry. So this is about the tangible. After that, the urban and uh, rural. There are two types of site selection. First is urban and second is rural. So if you go in the urban area, it is connected by a railroad, etc. The air services also be there. Market, no problems of the market. Easy access of external or specialist person if any breakdown maintenance is there. Right or skill labor force always be there in urban area. Uh, Factory can sit in the available area, very small area. All personal needs will get fulfilled. Hospital, school, banking, water, power, educational facility will be there. So this is a urban area. But if you go in the urban area, some problems are there. Lands problems are there. Their taxes will be there. Labor cost is very high, and consumer cost is also very high. And there is the not that much good relations between employers and employees because trade unions always be there in the city area. But if you go in rural area, easily and bulk the availability of the land is there, that is very cheap. The local laws, it will not be get followed strictly. there is a less taxes, labor cost is less, and healthy and pleasant environment is there. From the government, you will get subsidy. There is no problem about trade unions, less risk of the fire, etc. So depends upon these factors, you can consider the site for your industry. Some the parts or some of the disadvantages will be there while setting the industry in rural area. Main problems in rural area, non-availability of skilled labor. Skilled labors only you will get in the urbans, not in the rural area. Normally in the rural area, there is inadequate facility for transportation, maybe rail, road, or air. Uh, Nowadays, this problem is worse. Normally, 10 years back, there is a communication facility, telephone facility, post office, etc. Nowadays, it can get fulfilled by using the mobile services. Powers, rural area, inadequate power is there to run that industry. And many times it has been observed that uh, if because of the any problems, the machines may get break, then we will have to call the expert or specialist from the urban area. And normally in rural area, there is less facility related to your personal, maybe medical facility, school facility, then hospitals, the markets, mall, etc. So this living standard is very less as compared to our urban area. So it is better to prefer, depends upon the product requirement and consumptions, uh, which are the industry will going to start, and for this you have to consider certain advantages and disadvantages while um, making that industry in rural or urban area. Advantages and disadvantages you have to consider. If disadvantage is more, you can reject that. Advantage is more, you can select this. So these are the point you have to consider under this. So next point we have considered here urban. This is the A point, this is B point, urban and rural. So just now I have discussed about rural and urban area while selecting the site for industry. Land problem is first, then labor problems, personal problems are there. So many things are there you have to consider. After this, we have gone through the types of layout and factors affecting the layout. The types of layout, factors, and types of layout. And last one is the selection of material and link. So, factor to be considered while plant layout, nature of productions, mass production, continuous productions, policy of the management, nature of the industry locations, then the nature of the machinery, heavy duty, light duty, climate conditions, materials, physical and chemicals, human factors, material handling equipments, and the services depends upon this. So you have to select the layout. And just before a few minutes back, we have discussed about types of layout, product layout or line layout, then the process layout or functional layout, then fixed layout or static layout, and last one is cellular or group technology layout. You can remember the one examples of each layout. Production or line layout, normally we can use mass production, process or functional layout, batch production purpose, fixed layout, this is only used for big heavy job unable to handle, and cellular or group technology layout means grouping the machinery as per the requirement of the product. The shaping machine one place, drilling machine one place, press machine one place, like this way. So these examples you have to remember, and after this we have discussed about the selection of the material handling. Few points we have discussed. 8 point we have discussed regarding selection of material handling equipment. So with this, I declare this. This our chapter is over. Afternoons, our lecture is there at 1 p.m. Here, so we're going to conduct our uh, class test based upon work measurements. Class test is there, work measurements, and this is fourth test. After that, fifth and sixth. So simultaneously, we are going for assignment. Up till now, we have completed 3 assignment and 3 chapter test. Today will be 4 chapter day, and next Monday we'll continue fourth assignment. So here assignment, test, ISC, all this mark will going to count this. Okay. So here once again, thanks to all of you. I declare that this chapter is over. Only 2 minutes are there. Before that, I would like to ask anybody having any problems related to this chapter. You can ask. This chapter is based on these 4 points only: intangible, tangible factor while selecting the site, where we can select urban or rural. Suppose the sugar industry is there, which area we can prepare rulers, but automobile industry is there, we can go in city. What are advantages, disadvantages that you have to consider? Layout depends upon the production and quantity. We can decide the layout, and after this, selection of the material handling equipments. So basically, all this equipment, it is based upon the fixed path and variable path. Fixed path, all types of conveyor, monorails, overhead cranes we can use, or belt driven conveyors. This also will. And variables, the robo, then tractors, forklift. Okay, so like this type of material handling devices we can use. Okay, so you can think over the industry. What is the nature of the industry? Which type of layout is there? How much quantity? Which material we have to handle? Whether it will get damaged or not? These things we also consider while selecting the material handling. So with this, we'll stop here. Afternoon lectures, our test will be there. Okay. Thanks to once again to all of you. Okay, we'll stop here.